Hi, everybody. My name is Reagan. I am part of the support team here at PhotoDay. I live in the bubble. It's where you'll find me. This is Jake, J7. Jake is the best. He is the go-to when it comes to all things motivation. We're really proud to be hosting Jake. He's going to do a 4-part webinar here with us over the next little bit. He is the man behind Portrait Mode, which is all about photographing yourself, being the one in front of the camera for a change. He's all about printing that photo, getting it hung up on the wall, and really building your confidence as a photographer, as a person, as all things extraordinaire. I mean, if I ever need a pick-me-up, I know I'm heading to Jake. Jake, tell us a bit about yourself.
All right, my name is Jake. Jake Carr. I work in Dwight, Illinois, the metropolis of Dwight, Illinois. We started a photography business as a side hustle. Through the power of PhotoDay and some of the connections we've made, we've grown ourselves into quite the volume photography business in the state of Illinois. We do anything from, we love youth football leagues, youth wrestling. We do some schools now, a handful of schools. But my real passion beyond photography is to motivate others and try to get the most out of you for both your business photography and your personal life. So I'm excited to be here today to share some things. And whenever Reagan says we can get started, we'll get started.
I'm passing the stage to you, Jake. I'm going to disappear and I will pop back in at the end to close us out. But all you.
Okay, thank you so much, Reagan. Well, I appreciate everybody being here, taking some time out. I know it's lunchtime for some people. It's a little bit after lunch for others. We'll try to keep you awake today and energized. I was speaking with Lisa Malice, who is one of the founders, a couple weeks ago. We try to have a phone call every quarter. And I said, Lisa, we've got so many things going on. Lisa has her kids and she has her business, and we've all got so many things going on. But I said, Lisa, we have to protect our attention if we want to preserve our attentions. And that's the first thing I'm going to drop today is write this down, put it somewhere where you can see it. You have to protect your attention to preserve your intentions. I can guarantee you that there is something you intended to do yesterday that needed to get done that didn't get done because you got distracted. Now, some of those things, those distractions are important. It's your business. It's a customer service inquiry. It's a fix that you've got to do. It's something that goes on with your kids or your spouse or your partner, something that happens. Some of those things require your attention. Some of those things were just you scrolling on Instagram. And that's why things didn't get done. And the next thing you know, it's 8 o'clock at night and you're tired and you're ready to go to bed. Or maybe it was a workout that you skipped. So I really need you to protect your attention to preserve your intentions. And that's where this idea for this whole webinar got started. I said, Lisa, we do a great job at PhotoDay of telling people about the features and talking about photography and skills and stuff. But I tell you what, bottom line, if you are not in a good mindset, if you are not driven, if you are not in a good mood, when you walk into that school, you walk into that league, if you have a bunch of other things cluttering your mind, you may not do the best job for your customers, and it may not be the best thing for your business. So super excited to share some things with you over the next 4 episodes. I've got some stuff lined up for you and want to go on from there. So beyond this, most of us are volume photographers, right? We do the same thing over and over and over again. And I would like to call that, and I knew I would set my marker down. Here we go. I would call that repeating usual tasks. And repeating usual tasks is great, right? If we do the same things, we kind of build up this skill, this ability. It's training. We repeat these usual tasks. It's usually pretty good. But sometimes we can get in a rut, right? We can get in a rut, and we get stuck. And sometimes we can feel stuck. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to go into that school today. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures over and over and over again. It's going to be the same setup. There's not really much creativity that goes into it. And you can get stuck and you can get frustrated. So when I start to get in a rut, here's what I do. I look for opportunity. Where is the opportunity in that league, in that school, where's the opportunity for me to grow my business? I look for improvement. Where can I improve? What can I do better? Let me look at last year's shoot. If I'm doing the same school over and over, what did I do last year that I could do better? Was there exit signs coming out of their heads? Was the setup great? Did I underexpose? Did I overexpose? What can I do for improvement? Then I need to understand that looking for the opportunity and improvement and repeating these usual tasks is necessary. I hope I spelled that right, for excellence. So now we've repeated usual tasks. We're doing things over and over. We're getting really good at them. But while we're doing those, we're looking for opportunity within that we're doing every day for improvement. And we understand that it's necessary for excellence. Now we have routine. So part of my routine when I walk into a new school or a new league, hey, where can I shoot that's different? Part of my routine is to go back and look at the pictures from last year and figure out ways that I can do things better. And if we have a routine, it sounds a lot better than getting in a rut. So that's the first, that's the next thing that just wanted to teach you. The volume business, it can wear on you. And if you can look for opportunities to improve, you're always going to be better. Please compare yourself to you one day over the next. I know we do a lot of scrolling. We got a lot of Instagram. We see a lot of Rocktown. We see a lot of Brad Deal. We see these guys that are crushing it out there on Instagram and stuff. Don't sit there and compare yourself to them. Compare yourself to you. Compare yourself to you and your market. What are you doing great? What can you do better day over day over day? Those guys are great for getting ideas and those kinds of things, but make sure that you're not comparing yourself to somebody else. If you're just getting started, you're not going to be Rocktown Media, okay? You're not going to be breaking ground on a new facility today, but you're going to get there and you're going to work by following a good routine. So first start there. Necessary for excellence. I do not strive for perfection. I strive to be excellent in everything I do. I'm a member of a group called the Arte Syndicate. And within the Arte Syndicate, there's a man by the name of Ed Milet. And if you don't know Ed Milet, please check out his podcast, check out his books. The guy is amazing. We need those kinds of inspiration guys in our life. And Ed likes to say that you are one decision away from drastically changing your life. It's one phone call you need to make. It's one league that you need to book. It's one thing that you know you need to do, one decision away from drastically changing your life. I am willing to bet that there's something that you know you need to do in your business, in your personal life, but you're looking at it and you're saying too hard. It's too hard. I can't do that. It's too hard. And you're putting it off even though you know you can do it. I'll tell you a little story. I work with a school called the Livingston County Special Services School. And Livingston County Special Services work with kids with certain disabilities. Last year I was at a shoot, and some of you, if you've heard me speak before, you've heard me talk about Brody. And Brody shows up for picture day, and Brody did not want to be there. And Brody puts his hands over his head, hands over his ears, and says, "This is too hard. I've got to get out of here." You see, I think we all have a voice inside of our head that when we look at something that's maybe we haven't done before or something that looks like a challenge, something that's going to move us ahead, we look at it and go, man, this is too hard. I got to get out of here. And the teachers at LCCSU, they are saints. They pointed out to Brody. They said, hey, Brody, this is your friend that did it. They showed him evidence of how other people had done it. We told him how easy it was. We told him that he can do it. We encouraged him. Yet we still got, this is too hard. I've got to get out of here. Well, that day, I let Brody go. I said, okay, it's lunchtime. Brody, you can go off and you can go do your thing. I'll photograph the rest of the school. We'll bring Brody back at the end and we will try it again. When I got to the end of the day, got finished with everybody else, I went to find Brody. Brody was gone. And that opportunity to get his picture was gone. So you're going to sit there and you're going to say, this is too hard. There's going to be opportunities in front of you. This is too hard. I've got to get out of here. This is too hard. I can't do this. Even though there's evidence of this guy down the street or this guy in the PhotoDay community has made it. This guy has done it. Exactly what you need to do. But you're going to say, this is too hard. I got to get out of here. And guess what? That opportunity may go away. And you may not have that opportunity. Now, I love to tell that story. I've been telling that story for a year. Just yesterday, as I'm planning for this webinar, I went to a school, new school for me, new grade school. And we're working through the line, and the superintendent, the principal who booked us, came up and she said, now the student at the end, he's kind of nonverbal and stuff, but you can work with him or whatever. And do you know who that student was when I got to him? It was Brody. And my heart melted. And Reagan, do you want to roll the video? Can you roll the video? I handed my iPhone. I wasn't prepared for this. I handed my iPhone to the nearest teacher. I said, please film this. Hey, we got this, buddy. We got this. Hi, Brody. Hi, Brody. Brody, good job. Thank you. Brody, look at me. Oh, my God. We got it. Now, the picture on the left is Brody last year. And my accountant says this is what I look like every time I get on a webinar with her when I'm frustrated about accounting. But after a year, this is Brody here on the right. A much different kid. And a couple of things that have happened here. Brody's changed schools. Instead of going 30 minutes away, he's in a different environment. So maybe in order to accomplish that, you need a different environment. Maybe you need a different setup. Maybe you need to change your scenery. Maybe you need to change something around. The other thing, Brody works with a teacher 24/7. He has a mentor. When he comes to school, he has somebody dedicated to him that is motivating him. And I had a great conversation with her yesterday, and she said, when he got here, he said, pictures, no, not going to do pictures. And she talked him into it, and she got him to do this. Now, this story does not end here. I mean, if this does not give you goosebumps enough, the story does not end here. And Reagan, if you want to hit the rest of the video, this is what happened probably 10 to 15 minutes later while we were still shooting.
We're going to help Jake, okay?
Okay, you ready?
Stand over there, buddy.
Come see me, Brody. We got this.
You're good.
We can do this.
Here we go.
Okay,
Ready? Okay, smile.
Push the button. We're going to push the button, okay? Okay.
Say smile.
We're going to push this button right here. Ready?
Yay.
What do you think? Did you get it? Try it again.
Yes.
Try it again right there. Okay, you want to go show her?
Did you do it? Let me see. Let me see.
Let's go show her, Brody.
Is that a good? Do you think that's a good one? Is that good? Is it thumbs up? Thumbs up. Well, you gotta show me. Nose is itching. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. Okay. Yay, Brody!
So I spoke with the teacher, and she said Brody went back to the classroom, and she said, I remember that guy. And Brody basically knew 6 words before he came into to work with Sarah. And she said, I want to take your, he said that he wanted to take his teacher's picture. And so they came back and he took his picture, which for me was incredibly heartwarming. And if you think, you're just going in there to take school pictures, if you think you're just going in and you're in the rut and you're doing that, then maybe you're in the wrong business. What PhotoDay allows us to do is those of us who are super passionate about photography, who are super passionate about people, can get into the schools and kind of battle the big dogs and the big corporate guys who send somebody who doesn't care about students into there. And it only takes 1 or 2 schools, guys, before you can start making impact. So some of you are saying, man, it's too hard to get in. I can't get into schools. It's too hard. It's too hard. It's corporate or whatever. Go ask the question. The worst they can do is say no. Go ask the question. Make some relationships. Find some place. Start with a preschool. Start with a local preschool. Start with somebody. The greatest thing about PhotoDay is they allowed us to get into that school because they created a network and a framework that would allow us to sell. It would allow us to do private galleries. It would allow us to go out and offer our services to school. And I'll be forever grateful to PhotoDay for setting that up. And it's completely changed our business. And I wouldn't be standing in front of you today if it hadn't been for that. Put this in. So that brings me to the importance of a portrait. I've been a photographer for 15 years. I've gone to schools, taken thousands, maybe in the million mark of students. The most confident person that I know is a 7-year-old with a new uniform and a new pair of cleats. They are confident. They will get in front of your camera, and it is awesome. And part of that confidence, I feel like from kindergarten to your senior year in high school, we document everything. Thankfully, we make a lot of money from that. Okay, parents love to document kindergarten to first grade, hands over ears to smiling. We document that all through school. But when we get to the end of our school days, that process ends. And for us as photographers, the process ends. You know, we can always have a new group of students coming in, so it doesn't seem like too big of a deal. But for us as people, we don't have any way to document that progress. When I started my business, there is no portrait of Jake Carr when he first started J7 Images that I can look back to and go, remember then? Remember what things were like back then? And now you look at things now. So when I have a moment of doubt or I have a moment of, man, I don't know if I should be doing this or I don't know if I can do this, I need to be able to see the progress. So the portrait mode for me is encouraging everyone to stop what you're doing, schedule a photo session with a photographer. If you have an assistant, if you have a studio, if you have something, have your portrait taken. I am so tired of walking into schools and listening to grown adults tell me that they do not want their picture taken, that they do not want to be in front of the camera. Because here's the thing, folks. You don't want to be in the front of the camera because you have a double chin or you don't like the way you look, or maybe you have, maybe you don't like your weight, maybe you don't like something about you. But I have to tell you that you are beautiful. Didn't think you would hear that today, but you are beautiful. And if you don't accept yourself as a beautiful person today, it doesn't matter what you change about yourself. It doesn't matter what goes on. You may not accept yourself as beautiful. You don't have to like everything about what's going on, but you are beautiful and you need to accept that, and you need to put yourself in front of the camera. Now, the whole point of this, have your portrait taken. One, it gives you some time to slow down, to sit, to think about your year, to think about the things that you've accomplished, to slow down, to capture it, and to have that year kind of your payoff and that put together. Then you hang it on the wall. You hang it on the wall in your office. You hang it on the wall wherever you're. It's not about, hey, look at me. It's not about, hey, there you are. It's for you to look at and go, okay, that's the person that accomplished it. If you're having a rough day or you think there's doubt, you don't think you're supposed to be somewhere, you're having imposter syndrome, whatever it is, you can look at that portrait and go, you know what? This is the person who's accomplished so many things up to this point. And look at your history. You have accomplished a lot of things up into this point in your life. And there's probably not a trophy room or wall big enough to put all the accomplishments and all the trophies and all the great moments. The moment with Brody is a great moment of my life. It doesn't come with a plaque. It doesn't come with a trophy or anything that I can put on the wall. It's all right here. But when I hang my portrait on the wall for the next year, that is in there. And that feeling is in there, and that accomplishment's in there, and you can use that as a way to push you even further as you go along. So the last hack of the day, I really appreciate everybody having some time with us today. I want to keep this short, and I want to have some time for question and answers, and just be mindful of your attention, because I know we have stuff that we want to get done today. I'll tell you a story. So behind me, The Standard is a book by a man named Ben Newman. Ben Newman is the mindset training coach for the Kansas State Wildcats football team. That's probably what he's most known for. Last night, he was on the sidelines of the Miami Dolphins. He is a mindset motivator guy in the corporate world. 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to work out with him. And the night before, I was scared to death. Okay, so I'm in decent shape, but I am not in Ben Newman shape. And he has a crazy workout that we were going to do. And imagine it's me, Ben Newman, and a friend of mine that works for the company that we were working with in the Holiday Inn workout facility, going through his workout. And the night before, I was scared to death. I had no confidence in myself that I could handle this workout. And I was out on the track. I was getting my walk in, and I wasn't near my portrait. I took out my phone, turned it into selfie mode. And in selfie mode, you can put it in portrait mode now, at least on the iPhone. And I took a picture of myself, and I took it in portrait mode. And portrait mode blurs out all the other noise, all the other crap behind you, all the doubt, all the naysayers, all of that negative self-talk, and it just focuses on you. And I looked at that on my phone and I said, you got this. You can do it. Now I went and did the workout. I hurt like hell for about 4 days, but I survived the workout. But that is where portrait mode originates from. You put your phone in portrait mode. You're having a moment of self-doubt. You're getting ready to walk into a photo shoot. You're not sure if you can handle it. You stop. You take a picture, a selfie. It's in portrait mode. And you look at it. And you look at yourself and go, you got this. You don't always have a mirror with you. Okay? A lot of people like to say, look in the mirror. If I'm having a crappy day, I might look in the mirror and see a guy having a crappy day. But you put that thing in portrait mode. You take a picture and you look at that and go, man, you got this. You've accomplished much harder things than this before. You've got this. And that is portrait mode in a nutshell. So I hope I helped some people. Please reach out. I've got a screen that shows information. I do have a podcast as well. In my podcast, we actually take a portrait of our guest while we're talking about confidence, about other things. And I think Reagan's going to put a link in here. If there's anybody out there who ever wants to be a guest on the portrait mode, please do so. And understand that this whole portrait thing, this is not about me having to take your portrait. This is about the industry. This is about encouraging people to hang portraits on their wall. This is about you possibly opening up a new market in your neighborhood to offer portraits for folks. It seems to me like an untapped market. We get done with seniors, and then we have all these folks that maybe we do headshots or whatever, but there's entrepreneurs, there's all these small business owners and people that are out there that are kind of on an island. And I think if you can pitch the portrait mode and you can pitch that and explain to them how important it is to have a portrait every year, imagine signing that person up. Hey, every April, we're going to have a locked-in session with you, and you go in and you create their portrait and you create that value for them. And I think there's some opportunity, and we'll continue to explore that and help people in the industry with that as we go along. Yeah, I just hope that was beneficial. And if it was, please tune in to the next one. Tell a few friends, bring your folks to the next one. We'll try to keep it short and sweet here. And we'll just try to bring you something of value that helps motivate you and helps get you through the day. We're coming into the holiday season. So we've got to finish this year strong. We've got 3 months left. And it's not too soon to start thinking about your goals for next year and start attacking things. So appreciate it.